ClaretsTV speaking to Chelmsford City's Ruaridh Donaldson after the defeat to Enfield today. Ruaridh, where did that one get away from us?
It was a frustrating one for sure. I felt a bit of like it was a game of two halves. I think we did quite well in the first half to control, certainly the first half hour. I think we were in control and scored a good goal and perhaps looked good for maybe another. I think Enfield were then able to sort of battle their way into the game and had a good spell, and sort of later on in the first half they had a very clear game plan and it was effective for them. So yeah, it was a tight game at half time, but I thought we were worthy of our lead, and then in the second half it was again a difficult game. We knew what they were going to do, and again they were really effective in doing that. I felt like it was a couple of like key mistakes that led to the goal, and these types of things at this level just cost you. So it was a tough one for sure.
Was that difficult to deal with their sort of physical and sort of long ball style, I suppose you want to call it? That sort of style to deal with was a constant pressure on us. Yeah,
for sure. It was. They played a territorial game, and it was, as I said, very effective for them. I think they clearly sign players that are in that mould and understand that type of style of play. But I think also though when they got in the final third, they were effective. They got crosses into the box well. We knew that was going to be their game plan and their skill, and they were good at doing it. I think we were able to deal with it quite effectively in the first half and again in the second half. And as I said, I think a couple of mistakes led to the goals. So yeah, if you sort of cancel out those mistakes, we might have had a more positive result.
And Ruffy obviously scores. He normally knows where to pick up space and found the bottom corner. There was a bit of a mistake for their keeper, but we capitalised on it.
For sure, yeah. Charlie was super composed in the box, as he always is, and sat a couple of players down and finished it off nicely. And I think, as I said, we were worthy of that goal and that lead at that point in the game. Just a bit frustrating that we couldn't get the second, and maybe that might have been the difference today.
Yeah, and then I suppose we conceded 5 minutes into the second half, and then all the momentum's with them, so it didn't make it easier for ourselves.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, we're obviously playing games at the end of the season now that don't have a huge amount on them. We're not playing to get into the playoff places. We're playing quite a young team. I was super proud of the team last week. Some of the debuts that were made, the boys were outstanding. But again, once they have something to play for, they're obviously clearly trying to stay in the league, and they had that bit between their teeth. And I think sometimes that's just the difference.
You played a lot of positions this season. How's centre back going for you?
Yeah, it's a position I've played a couple of times in the past. I think it's certainly a trait that I'm proud of, that I'm able to slot into different positions, and Robbie and Spills can use me wherever they see fit. But yeah, it was much more aerial. I was a bit dizzy in the first half from all the headers. So it's obviously it's difficult to try and change position during the game. I think once you set out and once I sort of know that I'm going to play that position, I can mentally prepare the night before and the day off. It was something that I enjoyed doing for sure. Good challenge.
And a learning curve for the young players to come up against a side like that who are going to put it on us all the time, and not an easy pitch and those sort of conditions to work around.
Yeah, it's all just a learning curve. So I hear they won 12 in a row. I think the under-21s are in a great vein of form. They're playing at that level, and then they come here, and it's a very different style of football. So it's a great exposure for them. And as I said, I was very proud of them last week, and again this week. I think the youngsters have acquitted themselves really well, and I'm far from the reason that we lost today. I think if anything, it was the senior players that let them down. So yeah, there's plenty of positives to take from today, particularly if you look at the young team.
And then Aveley, obviously already relegated on Friday, but obviously we've got personal pride and want to bounce back from today in that game.
Absolutely, that's a local derby, so that's one that we're focused on. We were already speaking about it in the changing room after the game, so the focus immediately shifts to Aveley, keen to win that local derby, and yeah, obviously like they don't have much to play for, we don't have much to play for, and sometimes those games can be sort of humdingers and a couple of goals at either end, so hoping for that.
Okay, I'll actually take Ruaridh, and we'll see you on Friday.
Thanks, man.